Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd from Bish's RV, kicking in the doors over here at the Grand Design 2023 preview release display, and there are so many new models here. What we're going to do today is I'm going to just kind of give you a fast flyby of some of my favorite things that I have seen here, give you some general overview information to kind of help tide you over until I get a chance to go through and do some more detailed, full reviews of these. Now, we are in a live dealer display, so there may be people walking around. They asked me, hey, please don't lock the door behind you and lock down our units, and I respect that. So we might see some guests through some of our tours that I captured from the display, both in this video as well as in some subsequent videos that come out. Something else that would help me as we go through here, if there's a specific model you see you'd like me to zero in on, or one that you don't see that you'd like me to zero in on, leave me some comments, let me know so I can kind of start building up a hit list for you. Remember, I'm going to cover a lot of things very quickly here. I will chapter mark these videos, so if you want to jump back to get to see another one of those quick preview displays later on, you'll be able to reference that very quickly. And I'm telling you, we got some new and exciting things coming down the pipeline here. We're going to kick things off here with the Transcend series and then work our way up the line. And I'm kind of guilty pleasure here. Transcend is kind of sort of becoming like maybe my favorite stick and tin brand out there. I think just because I'm so used to seeing the same things all the time, that their originality absolutely floors me. They're doing things unlike anyone else I've seen. Like, you're looking at this, and it's just got a great kitchen setup, but like, who puts bunks in a super slide with a sofa like that? I can count on maybe one hand the number of times I've ever seen anything remotely like that in the RV industry, and I gotta say, I like it because it gives us the benefits of a couples camper with a big rear bathroom without bunks that are extending the floor plan, or if you have occasional guests, or maybe if the kids move out for a little bit, I don't know that you have to swap this camper out. This is really getting your second camper the first time around. You see that move bunk, get out the way system here. One of the only concerns I could see somebody having with this one is just the fact that it does have that front Murphy bed, but at the same time, again, if you're stuck inside on a rainy day, or if you're just visiting with some friends or family or whatever, it gives you all kinds of space. Bring a little portable picnic table and blam, you got yourself a little dinofa. Now, similarly, moving up here, the Transcend 251, like that says, it asks the question, what if the bunks could just go away? So what they did here is they created a front living room travel trailer with a rear private bedroom slide, but it has this lift up bunk, fold down bunk kind of system. Notice how those cushions are all level with that sofa. Now, I kind of did that in half and half form just so you could sort of get the idea. But you could use it as just a couples camper all the time. But what if you sometimes have guests? What if you sometimes have grandkids? What if you have bigger kids and traditional bunks don't fit them? What if you still want a good entertainment center and a rockin' kitchen in a bunkhouse camper that isn't exceptionally long? Now, you're still pushing the bounds of half-ton towability here. A 3/4 ton wouldn't be a terrible idea with something of this size. But look, you've seen bedroom and bathroom arrangements like this on high-dollar laminated travel trailers, but on a stick and tin camper, little details like that, there's USB plugs up inside that upper headboard right there for phone charging. I mean, this is all the window coverage back here. This is different. This is thinking outside the box. And what's funny is they almost took a classic front kitchen. This is a no-slide front kitchen model. There are so few no-slide couples campers out there, and they are all almost exactly the same. They have a dinette or maybe some kind of seating in the back and a bed in the front. This thing right here, it's a very classic design. RVs used to almost always have front kitchens and livings until slide outs came around and the extra weight required them to shift that back above the axles. But this is 10 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound sack. And by the way, a key detail here, any non-Murphy bed Transcend, including that last one we saw at the bed slide, those are 60 by 80 true queens. You got windows on the driver's side, camp side of the RV. You've got direct facing entertainment. It goes through and it checks a lot of boxes, but once again, giving you a very private rear bedroom space, which if you're a light sleeper, there's more foot traffic at the front of the RV. That right there is a fantastic design for spending some time in a park. But notice how they snuck some extra closet space. Now, this is very cool. I actually got all 4 of these new floor plans. The new Imagine AIM series. It's the 3rd member of the Imagine series. And you might notice these are the single axles. What I really liked about these is they didn't skimp down really on construction. They put every single feature into it they could, like the same weather package that you find in the other Imagines. You see the same little telescopic fold up down sleeper dinette table. They just managed to do this in a smaller package. Pound for pound in terms of pure value, they might be one of the strongest things I've seen out there in a while. Now, in this size, they had to get a little cute, a little creative. Notice how they put a 2-burner stovetop above a convection microwave oven. Also, you saw that is a 12-volt fridge with a dedicated freezer chest below. And this one's very interesting. And this is yet another example of Grand Design doing floor plans nobody else has ever even dreamed of doing, basically, here. Where you have, it could be a bunkhouse for a small family. It could be just something for a couple where you could use that upper shelf for storage or just flip it up out of the way. They just come up with all these kind of weird different arrangements. Now, this one right here reminded me a little bit of like a squished down version of a 17 MKE tandem axle Imagine. So that is a very cool, very popular concept that they're just kind of saying, you know, what if people want it even smaller, even lighter? Now, the weights of these, depending on the slides, you're coming in around 3,700 pounds dry weight. I'm guessing the maximum GVW is about 5 to 5,500 pounds. But again, you know, a solid tow package SUV, a mid-size tow package vehicle like the Ford flippin' Ranger would actually be able to handle some of these very nicely. But what other small camper has that level of like kitchen storage and prep space? That is just a rare find, and I'm really excited to see. Now, a really major detail I need you to understand about this Imagine AIM series, we are looking at early generation prototypes. There's a lot of that going around in the RV industry right now. So there's, you know, some things definitely will change right there. That was the marketing director from Grand Design right there who was just kind of chit-chatting with me for a little bit, and I caught her on the video. But everyone down there was so fun, so friendly. Like, they really love what they're doing. It's really exciting to see. Now, this one right here, I think may have actually been my favorite of the series because, first of all, we're getting a north-south bed, and it's just a very comfortable seating arrangement. But it's what they did with the dining that we haven't seen yet. Notice that's a little kitchen in a slide. All the big bulky appliances they shoved in a slide, and it really opens this little camper up right here. But then you look over here, and they totally, well, reimagined the dining. Instead of a dinette, instead of a sofa, they're finally doing, like, when people buy an RV and they remodel it and they DIY it, it is so common for people to put in some kind of bar or like desk or something like that. I thought that was very fun and very cool. Now, those little stools, you're probably not going to spend a ton of time on them. I think a camper like these small little guys, you're probably going to spend most of your time outside. Now, ironically, they did everything they could to come up with completely unique and different floor plans. And this one, they accidentally sort of recreated the same thing that's out there ad nauseum, but at the same time, I don't mind Imagine ever putting their spin on something. So front north-south Murphy bed with you know, rear-facing direction right there. You were looking straight at the entertainment center from the sofa. You got a dinette to sit down, a big rear bathroom. So like everybody and their brother does this floor plan, and it really comes down to execution. All of that extra storage around the bedroom, that is one thing I think Imagine just crushes it on. I think pound for pound, they really follow Nerdism number 37, which is not an ounce of space gone to waste. They are the masters at maximizing every single ounce of potential storage capacity, and I'm really excited to see this series evolve right here. Now, moving up a step into the XLS series, this is a floor plan I'm very excited about. It's a sneaky sleeper floor plan because at a glance, you're just walking by it, and it doesn't have a lot of windows on the door side, but it has them where it counts. It puts them right in the living room. You can't really tell what it is from the outside, but if you look at this, you're like, okay, so it's just the 22 MLE that they, you know, put a Murphy bed in. But if you notice in the background right there, what they did is they added a quad bunkhouse onto one of their most popular couples models, the 22 MLE, to create the 25 BHE. Actually, I think that this is, the 22 MLE is one of the best couples campers really ever conceived. And now they've made it family friendly. And they've created a true 4-bed quad bunkhouse that is under 30 feet. and that is a clutch detail. Did you notice that one bunk can flip out of the way to create like a rainy day living space? You have the cargo bunk on the back right there. You've got all the storage around the bed. About the only knock you can give this one is that it doesn't have a private bedroom. Other than that, man, she's a stunner. Now, the 23 LDE, you know me, is a model. I've had more requests to record this thing than anything else, so I got some quick footage now. I will get you full footage of this one. Everybody and their brother kept saying, Josh, you have to see this. You have to record this. It's a nearly perfect couples model, and I'm starting to see what the hype is about. It's not that it's a new innovative floor plan. It's just that they took something that was really, really good, and they applied that detail that Imagine and Grand Design do so well with just purely maximized storage. Now, there's a lot of similar things out there that call themselves rear kitchens that have absolutely jack and squat for kitchen prep space or storage. This is not one of those. Plus little details like giving you the cuddle compliant theater seating straight across from the entertainment center right there. Walk-through middle bath might be one of the only things that's a potential deal breaker for some folks, but man, I feel like I could deal with it. I could make it work. And remember, these are 60 by 80 true queen beds. They don't have a king yet, but they are working toward that. Now, this is like a reboot and almost a reissue of a very popular floor plan they had in their lineup previously. And essentially, this is the travel trailer version of the really cool 260RD reflection. But what they did here is they took their concept and they added a closet and wardrobe slide to it to actually give it more storage, even as compared to the fifth wheel version. Now, if you noticed, I've given you a couple roof shots. Every single Grand Design has some level of factory solar, all of which is expandable to a degree in case you want to spend a little more time untethered there. And depending on what you're looking at, like in these reflections, when you start getting in reflections that have those big 16 cubic 12 volt fridges, you start getting 370 watts of factory solar. So they are doing what they can to try to offset 12 volt fridges where possible. Now that's an even bigger sofa. Again, this is the same sofa you find in a 260RD. It's just a travel trailer version of it. Interestingly, it also has more headroom in addition to more storage than the fifth wheel version, because reflection trailers are rare with a 7-foot ceiling. And did you notice you can put a second air in these if you are so inclined? You could also throw a combo washer dryer in there if that's what you need. So it's a travel trailer that maybe it's beyond half-ton towable, but if you don't want to give up the bed of your 3/4 or 1-ton pickup, but you want a lot of those full-time living RVing features, this is one that can get the job done, son. Now, this might be about the best front living room I've ever seen in a mid-profile fifth wheel. I haven't seen a good look at Cougars yet. I got to see an early prototype, but never a final finished product. The thing with front living room fifth wheels is when your living room's upstairs, you need a ton of space, a ton of headroom up there. And that's something that mid-profile fifth wheels often struggle to provide. They employed that craftiness that they have here, and they created open space and comfort in a floor plan that is otherwise chopped up into small rooms. Like, you ever see a big house that's chopped up into small rooms? It feels tiny and crappy, doesn't it? Well, you see that curvature at the front of this. Instead of trying to fight the slides all the way forward to keep the RV as small as they could, they said, what if we weren't super, super worried about the size? And the fact that with 4 slides in this size, this thing still weighs like, I think it was just over 11,000 pounds. This is still incredibly light for the size of this thing. But they pulled the living room back, they stretched the kitchen out, and then look at that. They realized that with their new 12-volt fridges, they don't have to bury the fridge on an exterior wall to ventilate it. And that allowed them to have, I'm not going to call it a walk-in pantry, but a reach-in, reach-around extra storage pantry. And that is something that a lot of middle kitchens and front living rooms really suffer from: crappy storage space. Now, you've got that little Franken table set up right there where that bench can move. It has storage. You want to use it like an ottoman for one of the hide-a-beds in the front living, you could do that. You could have just a pure couple seating arrangement. And with the bathroom being on the lower deck of this one, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain would be able to stand in this thing pretty darn easily. You've got a king or queen bed swaption choice. The queen does come with side stands, which I know a lot of people will like. And in the opposite corner of that wardrobe right there, you have either additional storage or a washer dryer kind of prep point. Now, I've seen layouts like this before, but they've always kind of struggled in popularity despite having one of the best kitchens you can find per foot in a trailer like this. Not to mention, this has a really cool outside kitchen. They managed to sneak and weave into all that awesome counter space you're going to see. But this floor plan, they nailed it. Everyone else who's built this has always kind of struggled because the seating has always been in exactly the wrong position. They've always put a dinette across from the TV and a sofa facing, well, nothing. And as you can see, Grand Design found a way to flip that around. And I think the way they cracked the code was by realizing when you're really building something that's couple-centric, not everybody needs a big, giant U-shaped wraparound sofa. Some people just want a spot where two people can sit down, grab a bite to eat. And they even move those posts on that table in a way that it's a little more knee-friendly. Again, it's just sometimes it takes a little tweak like that to take something that was close and make it cigar instead of close but no cigar. Now you can see how that has one air in it, but these are all 50 amp. They're all second air ready. When you have a north-south bed like this in reflection, it's a true queen. They all have that extra closet right there that's going to be washer dryer prep. That motion light did me an awesome solid right there, obviously. And you see that little pole right there. Those are all, blackout roller shades. Now this is kind of a retouch of an existing floor plan. Previously, the 34MB, it was in the Reflection 150 series. Now, I think anybody looked at an RV that's like 37 plus foot long and said, you're putting the name 150 on that with a giant question mark and squinting really hard. And they said, yeah, you got a point. So they officially bumped it up into a full reflection, which organically has given it a couple enhanced features and amenities as compared to its previous version. Now, generally speaking, the layout hasn't really been twisted around too awful hard. I love that 3-burner sealed stove in there and the big oven that you have below. Now, you can sit at any of those theater seats right there, all 3 recline, and nobody's getting blocked by the island. I personally tested that out. They've done a very good job of that. Plus, you always have that big dinette in the back. And this is, they kind of rethought the middle bunk room, and I like the open flow of that. It just feels a little more of like an extension of the living room during the day, and it doesn't feel like you're chopping the RV in half and like, here's the living room, stop. Here's the bunk room, stop. It all kind of flows together. It's got that little, party rock is in the house tonight kind of vibe. Everybody's shuffling in this thing. And again, you've got that same bedroom-bathroom arrangement you've seen in like the last fifth wheel. They're very good about finding something that works and reusing it where it makes sense. Never jamming a square peg through a round hole. Now, moving up to the big boy Solitudes here. This is the previous full Solitude front living. It's been moved into the S-Class as they have developed and designed some new things that I think you will also enjoy a great deal. And I legit thought there was a fly on my screen, and that was just a drone flying around right there. You can see the towing hitch on the back. When you get up here into the big boys, you're getting Cooper H-rated 17.5-inch tires. I am not personally aware of a documented instance of a tire failure from just poor tread or wear out or anything like that on an H-rated tire in a towable RV scenario. Long story short, if what you're looking for is maximum peace of mind going down the road, they are providing that. Very reminiscent of like in a North Point in a way where you've almost got that like backwards twisted around living center. In the S-Class here, you again have that the residential refrigerator, not 12 volt, pardon me, or two-way refrigerator. 12 volts have not yet found their way up into the Solitude family of RVs. Now, if you notice though, once again, very good about maximizing storage in every area, especially critical in front living rooms where, like when we were talking about that reflection, I mentioned a lot of front living rooms have very poor kitchens. And for something that you might spend a long time in, you need a good kitchen. And once again, amazing headroom because the bath is on the lower deck of the ceiling. I couldn't even touch the ceiling, but I love how high the shower head was mounted. That was something I thought was a really awesome detail. And on this one, they found a different way to include that extra little cyclops window right there and that big tall door in the back corner. That will actually be an extra closet, for and washer dryer prep location. Now, this right here, everybody and their brother is suddenly coming out with a, I call it like a home on wheels, where it's a literal 2-bedroom, full 2-bathroom, like European efficiency apartment with a middle shared like living and kitchen area right here. Alpine Avalanche made this concept very popular, and suddenly everyone's going, I want me a piece of that. We're actually going to work this thing from the back forward right here. The rear bathroom, it's interesting. It actually does run all the way up to the roof. Some brands have cut that off to put an extended loft above it. This model does have a loft. It is pretty good size. It does run above the rear bedroom right here, which is what you're seeing right there. Now, the rear bedroom is a 60 by 80 true queen. The front bedroom can be king or queen, but there's not enough space to allow for a king in the back bedroom. But once again, I don't think that loft is small by any means, and I like the way that ladder can fold up and get out of the way when you, don't want it there. Now, the extra tall ceilings are fantastic here, very cuddle compliant sort of theater seating, and you can see the differences, like even in the chairs when we move into a full Solitude from an S-Class. Instead of just, checking all the boxes in a very nice way, this is where it becomes, extravagant and extreme. They rock the mic like a vandal, basically. A little Vanilla Ice reference for you here today. Awesome direct facing entertainment center, no neck wrecker entertainment center. So many RVs are mounting the TVs up so high. You don't have to deal with that here. You don't have to recline in the theater seats just to be comfortable. The washer dryer prep location that you're seeing right there, they had tried to move some of those out of the bedroom that past year, and they have moved those back into the bedroom this year based on a lot of your feedback. Now, this is, again, not a new floor plan, but I saw the full body paint on this 390 rear kitchen, and I absolutely had to record this thing. So this is an elevated rear kitchen with monster storage and a slide out like diesel pusher belly tray in the back of it. Several different builders make a layout like this. I think this might be the original of them, and just the grandeur and the fine detail of this thing, it screams welcome home. Like that extra little mirror above the theater seat, just making everything look and feel alive and moving. Windows everywhere, storage everywhere in this, and a little bit of Dr. Phil picking up on the antenna there. Hopefully that doesn't get me in any sort of trouble. Not an intentional thing. They had it going in their display. Now, they have a full island elevated rear kitchen right here, and I actually think in terms of elevated rear kitchens, they have about the best prep space I've seen. But I call that like the stadium seats right there, where you're overlooking the theater seat. So if you have friends or family over, like, this is an awesome entertainer's floor plan. If you have a bunch of people over at the same time, everybody can be enjoying a good shot at the entertainment. At the same time, you could have a very social seating arrangement. And so many times when you're up in the kitchen, you feel like you're left out. And this one, the kitchen's like up in a perch where you can really check and everything. Now, did you notice there was a pop-up power tower in that island? So that if you want to sit there and like pull out an electric griddle and have a wicked pancake breakfast, or, cook up some bacon or whatever, that is one of those extra details that puts this one way over the top for me. I have to definitely get this one in one of my, fully detailed videos. Let me know if you'd like to see that. Now, I didn't mean to jump around like this, but we're actually sliding back to an S-Class right here for their 3950BH. Because I thought for a second, I'm like, do they have two versions of the same floor plan? I saw that rear door, and then I realized, oh no, that's a full camp kitchen with a real sink and drain, all the griddle cooker situation, full outside fridge, in a true bunkhouse. Instead of a second bedroom, this is a true bunkhouse arrangement right here. And again, if you're like a full-timing family, if you are looking at something like an RV as an alternative to a housing solution, this could be a cool option. But how cool is that? I have had more and more people asking me for full slide super sofas recently here. And it's kind of funny because Open Range was doing that for years and it never really caught on. And I think maybe they were just a little bit ahead of their time on that one, because suddenly it's really starting to feel like something that's coming back around. You can always drop a table in front of it. You can always create a dining space out of it. And a lot of people don't really do family dining around a dinner table anymore. It's maybe one of those things some people do, some don't. But this thing, you can fit all of the people in this thing, and they can be big, small, everything in between. And in the back here, they have their own private, full bathroom, not just half bath. So if you've got, the teenage smelly boys who need to get in there and get in the shower, and you want to get them hosed off before they go rolling around on your nice theater seat. And the other section's a hide-a-bed, by the way. Notice how it's carpetless and floor flush. I love those smexy little details. This model right here gives everyone the privacy they want. Or at the end of the night, like if you're up and down, if the kids are up and down using the bathroom with frequency, everybody has a bathroom on the same level of the RV at night. No one has to go up and down steps. And it's little details like that that sometimes make a big difference for people. Again, you know, whether you've got kids, maybe you've got like a mother-in-law suite, you have adult children with special needs. There's different ways you can use this RV. Now, this is very cool, and I'd love some feedback on this. And I have to stress, just like it says right there, this is an early prototype. This is literally prototype number 1. It will change. I didn't get a chance to really get an idea of everything that will change, but the final version will have some things tweaked around. But for a first run, they could have printed this, they could have run this, and I'd have gone with it for sure. The idea here, this is called the MAV, where it's part of the Momentum family, but if you're looking at it, it's basically a Transcend travel trailer. Now, nobody at the display wanted to say this, but basically they said we're going after brands like Grey Wolf and Wildwood who make those stick and tin ramper camper crossovers. Now, one of the interesting things here, they almost followed suit with a brand, say like J-Flight or Catalina's stick and tin travel trailers, where it is a little bit extra tall inside. So if you do want to put that Happy Jack power bed lift in there, if you do want to load a side-by-side in, you could do all of that here. Now, moving into a more traditional toy hauler, one of the big Momentum 31Gs, and this thing is like, what if somebody had a full-on luxury fifth wheel toy hauler, but you didn't want to give up the bed of your truck? And that's what this is right here. You start getting, you know, privatized docking stations, awesome weather packages, those 3-season garage walls. People ask me all the time on the little things like the size, like the MAV, you know, can I get that 3 seasons wall? And most of the time you can't because there's no supplier that makes it. But when you get up here, they put a full fifth wheel size garage door on it to be able to offer those. And you see that big red, white, and blue beauty? We're going to get a better look at that in just a minute. I had to throw a teaser out there. You know, a bath and a half private garage travel trailer. It's a beast. The thing is huge. It's heavy. You're definitely needing a big truck. The you know, the Ford Danger Ranger need not apply. What do you think of that new seating color combination, by the way? They're getting away from an old furniture supplier where they were having some recurring issues on some units with the skins peeling on the seating, and they said, forget that. We're not dealing with that crap. There's no way that should happen within a year. Grand Design agreed with you when that happened. So they're finding new furniture suppliers, and I'd be kind of curious to know what you think about that color palette back there. Now, if you look up front, they've done something here, and they've really perfected something that the Keystone Fusion travel trailer toy haulers started years ago, where you have a bed slide across from a bathroom in the front of the RV. And again, so far, in my career, I've not had a lot of opportunity to really get my hands on a lot of Grand Designs, and I'm trying to expand that coverage of it. And I mean, something about a side patio, it's just captivating. You just want to sit there and you just want to look around and just go people watching everybody that walks by from like your little elevated royal perch or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I love side patios. They eat up a ton of space on a campsite, but man, they're cool. I mean, really, this has a rear patio as well. But that right there, this is something that I think Momentum does maybe better than anybody else out there currently. They still give you a Solitude full-on luxury fifth wheel interior. They just happen to have a 3 seasons multi-function bunk garage flex room built off the back of the thing. Now, there is also a TV built right into that side patio in like a little drop-down compartment, just in case you're curious. And those geometrical light fixtures, I was so mesmerized by those things. I love the sharp shape, and I love that they're getting away from a lot of the Nike, Adidas, swooshy kind of things. Now, this one up front here, you've got king or queen bed. It is north-south, but it has a big closet slide to give you that extra space for, you know, long-term use, long-term living, and just entertainment and TVs in every room of this thing. The bathroom's definitely small, but it doesn't feel cramped when you're in it. Then this big beauty. This was actually designed, I believe, with some feedback in conjunction with Changing Lanes, another full-time RVers and you know, YouTubers that are out there. A lot of people follow them. That red, white, and blue paint package. The weather today did not do it justice. It kind of shone through on camera a little bit more gray than it really is. When you see that baby beaming in direct sunlight, oh my lord. Now, the focus behind this one, is like no sacrifices. Now, it's big, it is long, it is strong, and it is down to get the camping on. But the idea behind this thing is to give you big, massive living space. And there's a couple different seating arrangements. If you're not, you know, super fan of that big party couch, there is a more traditional couch and dinette situation. But I love that thing right there. I love all the space that gives you. It puts you directly across from the entertainment center. The televator can go away to maximize kitchen space. You see how you can dine at the island. There's a lot going on here that I just really, really liked. The space, the storage, the feature, the execution. Folks knew what they were doing when they put this one together. If you're going to spend time living in an RV, not just using an RV, but like, this is my home, this kind of design is what you want to look at right here. And I like how they don't have that like fold away partition half bath wall right there. It's just everything is fully enclosed. Everything has its place. Again, no sacrifices at all in this one. And we haven't even got to the upper deck yet, which is enormous. This is a very atypical upper deck right here. And frankly, it reminds me of diesel pushers that have a master walk-through massive bathroom just off of a full big bedroom. But look at that little corner over there. Every little nook and cranny utilized. Not an ounce of space gone to waste anywhere in this RV or in this brand, frankly. Well, there you go, guys. There, you know, that's the Cliff Notes version of a much deeper, more involved, and very fun story here. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna start capturing full videos on these, and like I said, leave me notes on which ones are your favorites, any questions you might have. I'll do my very best to fill in the blanks where I have the opportunity, and as always, make sure you subscribe to our channel to catch the full-length videos on these as I get the chance through the year to capture more and more of them. So until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and we've reached the end of the video, everyone.